This video is for any parent or a tutor who is trying to figure out how to use Google Meet with in a tutoring session. And I'm specifically making this for parents who happen to have students that work with me, because sometimes working with Google Meet, especially if you're not used to it, it can be slightly challenging. So the one thing that I want my parents to know is you're probably not going to see that view right away. I'm going to get into a classroom really quickly. Excuse me, I have some seasonal allergies. I'm just going to go and grab Rory's classroom here really quickly. Basically, all of the classrooms are set up like this. So you're just going to pretty much see the same thing in all of the classrooms. So I need to move this up. Let me get this moved up here so it's in the right spot. If I don't give the students something inside of their Google Classroom, it sits up here as like as far as a topic. So that's why the Meet link gets moved down sometimes. But this is where Rory and all of my students go to get their Meet link. They just come in here and they grab this Meet link, okay? And when they pop into the meeting, let's see, am I sharing my screen? No, I am not sharing my screen. I apologize. Let me come back here and share that screen. Okay. Let's see. I'm in a meeting within a meeting within a meeting. So I got to make sure I'm in there. Okay. Yes. We're good. Okay. Sorry about that. I needed to make sure that we could see what we were looking at. So I'm in 2 meetings. I need to close one of these. Let's see here. Okay. We're going to close that one. Are we still recording? Yes, we are. Okay, great. I chose the right one. I didn't have to start all over. So when your child comes in here, there are 3 places. There's the stream. I would just avoid the stream. It's really not super helpful for you. You're going to want to just hop right into classwork. If you're on a tablet, those buttons will be at the bottom. Kindles will not work for you. You need to use either a Samsung tablet, a Lenovo tablet, or I'm trying to think of some other really popular ones, iPads, clearly, or a computer. And a lot of my students have computers that have touch screens, so you're going to want to make sure to know if you have a touch screen, because that'll be really helpful. But right now we're in the classwork, and this is where you're going to see different things that are listed. When you come in, all you need to do is just grab this little button right here, and I will click on it. And you're going to see that you're going to pop into a meeting, okay? So on an iPad, it looks slightly different. It looks just a little bit different. Hi, everybody. Here I am. I am here in the meeting. And I'm going to go ahead and push join now. Now, you can, if you're a student, you're going to say, be admitted into the meeting. And then I will bring you in. And I hear a little doorbell. It goes ding dong. And I'm like, okay, great. And so just to keep the distractions away, I'll just turn off my camera because you really don't need to see me. But I would be in the corner and then you would be there. So I'm in 2 meetings, and so it's not really reflecting that. But there are some things that I want you to know about in the Google Meet. Okay, so some buttons. All right. So this is down here, this button. I want to make sure I'm on the right one. Hang on just a minute. This button right down here. Oh, it's not going to let me write. Okay, let me see. Let me see if I can give myself permission to write. Just a minute. Let others annotate. And yes, okay. So we want to go to Sheryl again. Let's see if we can find myself in there. We cannot. Okay, so you're just going to have to be a really good listener and imagine. If you see the screen down below, there is this, the talking button. It's got the little microphone. You can mute yourself, and when you mute yourself, you won't be able to hear anything. So I'll go ahead and mute myself. And you won't be able to hear me, okay? And because the camera's off, you can't see me, but when it pops back on, you can see me. You can see everything behind me. You can hear everything and see everything that the screen can see. Tell your children that. A lot of them like to sit there and pick their noses and do things that are very unpleasant to look at. So let them know, hey, I usually will say, hey, I can see that, just so that you know. Not that it's terrible, but it's maybe not the best thing to do with our time, right? Okay. And then we have closed captioning. So if you ever need to turn that on, you can turn it on, and then you can see what I'm saying. Most of the kids can't read that fast, so that's really not something that they probably need to have on. Okay, turn that off. Then we have the send a reaction. Now, you probably have the little buttons here, like the heart button, the thumbs up button, the cheer for me button, hooray, hooray, the clap button, the laugh so hard I'm crying button, the uh-oh button, the boo-hoo button, this makes me sad, the I'm really thinking about that there, or the don't like it. And the kids, they should be able to change the skin tone to reflect their own skin color. Most of us are not yellow, so maybe you are. But you know, some of my other students might want to use this to reflect their skin color, and I appreciate that because I'm going to go really light. Look at me, I'm really light complected, so that's going to represent my complexion. There are some other things on the screen that I want you to really understand. There is a box with an arrow, and that box with the arrow simply means present now. So I'm going to present, and I'm just going to get into something that I can just pull up here. Let me just grab education.com, and I'll just share that. I certainly wouldn't share the screen exactly like this, but I'm just going to pull something up so that you can see it. Okay, so I've got something that maybe I shared with a student, and I would say, okay, I gave you that link. It's, well, actually, we could just go back over to Rory's. Let's do that. We'll go over to Rory's, and I'm like, okay, Rory, I want you to click on the making inferences. And so Rory opens up his making inferences, and there's a YouTube video. Maybe we're watching part of that or not all of that, but I want to see the screen. So I would tell him to open it up, and then I would coach him through how to share it. But since that's going to make noise, let's see if we can find one that's got a worksheet or something. Okay, here's one that we actually have to go finish. We have not finished this one. I might give it to him in Cami app, or I might just give it to them as a PDF. But if it says open with Cami app, then it's going to redirect them, and you're probably going to have to do a quick sign in. Let's just take a quick look at that. And we could do open in class view as well, but I don't think that usually shows up for the students. I'm the manager of this account, so it's maybe looking a little bit different. So the Cami app is a really great thing that allows me to share worksheets with students that they can write on. And it will kind of update it. I might be, okay, it did not ask me to do something, but I'm seeing all the students that got this. Okay, so it's a little bit different on my end. It looks like it's thinking here. Okay, and so I really don't want to return anything yet because somebody still needs to work on this. And so we've got the parent has it assigned and this child has it assigned. So that sometimes happens when I've got students who their parents also have it. But the student can write on here. They can type, hello. They can write on here. They can circle things. They can come over and highlight things. There's a lot of really cool things that they can do in the Cami app. And so I'm really sorry that we're seeing this twice. We would problem solve there, and I would probably just send him the link directly. But this is how it popped open and populated. So this only requires a sign in. And if you see the little button at the top that's green, and I don't know if you can see it on the screen or not, but that means that I have posted that through their Google Classroom. So that's just going to hang there until I send it back. And actually, I think I return this, or he's done with this. I won't return it with this. He'll be really confused, but I'll check with him the next time we meet. But in order to share this screen, what you have to do is you have to go down, and I'm just going to look to see what you guys are seeing. Okay, it's not showing here. Let me go over to this, share this tab. Okay, so right down here, right down there, there's a little box with an arrow. When you click on it, and let's see if you can see this, that comes up. You cannot. I get a window, and it's going to say, I use Chrome. I recommend that you use Chrome. It works really nicely with everything, but you can use Firefox. You can use is it Internet Explorer? I don't even know, Explorer, whatever it is now. I don't even know because I don't use them. Whatever the tab is. And just sharing the tab is better because when we go to window, we get like this infinite screen that gets a little crazy. So I'm just going to go and click that and push share. There will be a button that says share. So it's a Chrome tab and share. And then we have this on the screen. And now the student doesn't want to stay in this screen. They want to go to the tab that has this information in it so that they can actually manipulate it. But then I'm like, can you share that screen with me? And now I'm going to have you go back to the tab. So if you ever get lost in the meeting, you're just going to look at your screen and you're going to find the little colorful camera or the little dot that's red or pinkish, and that's where I will be at. So I have to train my students how to do that. But the other thing that happens is that if you're on an iPad, I disappear. And they're like, wait, where did you go? So then I just navigate them back to the button. That would be the Google Classroom or the Meet button. And so if you're going to be using something like an iPad or Samsung app or even your phone, there are some things that you're going to need to download. Okay, so oh, there is one other thing before I talk about those downloads. If you're on a computer, you do not need to worry about that. Looking over here to the right. I'm just going to double check your view here just to make sure that you can see this. Oh, my picture is in the way. I need to move my picture so you can see. Okay, it still did not move. Okay, for some reason, you're not going to be able to see it, but there is a little circle with a letter I, and it's the meeting details. So when I click it, it opens it up. And so if you need another phone number or you need to dial in because your audio won't work, this is what you do. Stay on the computer or the tablet, stay there, and then you can just dial in with that. Or I can send it to you through text or through Messenger if we're friends on Facebook. People button is where I add people. You really don't have to worry about that. The chat button, however, is really important. So it is the third button to the right. It looks a little bit like a comment button. And if I would share something with you, this is where you would go get it if it wasn't already in their Google Classroom. So if, let's see here, let me just go grab this here really quickly. Copy. And I will throw this down in the meeting. I will say, okay, I'm going to share this link with you. And then it populates. It will always be the one on the bottom. Because if I'm not leaving the meeting, you might see things that other students have used, okay? So when you click on this, as long as you're sharing the screen, you're going to see it. But right now I'm not sharing the screen. So then I would have to go through the steps to share the screen with you so that you could see exactly what I'm looking at. So I'm just going to grab this. This is what I shared. And then maybe we'll write on the screen. We might type on the screen, or I might say, go back into that tab, and I'm going to have you work inside of the tab. Okay. So hopefully this is starting to make some sense to you because it is just a little bit, it's different than maybe what you're used to. But if you're a good listener and we want our kids to be good listeners, I don't think that you'll really have any problems with it. I think it'll be probably easier than what you think it will be. Okay. So I really hope I'm sharing the right screen with the record. Because if I'm not, I'm just going to laugh that I talked all the way through that. Okay, so I think that's really all that I wanted to share with you. There are some other buttons that I really, really, really need you to be leery of. And let me just make sure that I'm in the right meeting here. Okay, so back over here. There's a waffle in the lower right-hand corner that has different filters on it. And when your kids get into those filters, it becomes slightly distracting. Okay. So if I come over here and I click on this and I have to remember, oh, no, I'm sorry. It's down on your, I have to remember where it's at. The kids get into it and I forget where it's at. It's not there. It is the face button, I think. When they first get in, they can change like their facial expressions. They can make themselves characters and change their background. I think it's right. Oh, yeah, it's actually in the meeting, which I cannot demonstrate to you. That's why I couldn't remember where it's at. So when you're in the meeting and you click on your face, then it will give you these options to change the way that you look. And I'm just going to say, let's not do that because then it gets slightly distracting. So I feel like parts of this got recorded and parts of it didn't. But at least I think we got the information that we needed to get to make sense of how to use Google Meet. It's not terribly difficult, but it can bring some challenges when it's your first time. And so, you know, once you work with me for 5 or 6 meetings, it becomes extremely easy to use, and it's not quite so challenging after all. So I think that's really all you really need to know to start. That was almost everything that you needed to know, but I realized that in the recording, I had mentioned using phones or tablets. Now, I tried to download something off of my phone, but my phone is just old enough that it is just being persnickety. So I went ahead and I gave you a little bit more information about using tablets. Please remember that Kindles will not work. You're going to either need to have a phone with a large screen, and so meeting regularly on a phone is really not an option, or you're going to need something like a Lenovo ThinkPad, I think that's what they're called, Samsung tablet, an iPad, and please do not use your school's devices. School devices don't work well because they don't talk with private accounts, and so you're really going to need something that has a parent email that is not associated with a school when you go to work with me. So the next little bit of information is all about using a tablet and the apps that you would have to have downloaded in order to successfully meet with me online. Meant for any tablet users who want to meet with Tutoring with Sheryl on a tablet, and it will work, but you have to install a few things. You will need to have a few things downloaded on your tablet to make this successful. You will need to have the Classroom app downloaded so that when you go to join, you're just simply going to click on your child's classroom and you will find the Google Meet link. So let me give you an example of one. Let's see here. Well, we'll just go ahead and use Rory's. I like to use Rory's. He actually has a brother in here, so they both use it. And I can make individual classrooms for each child, but we're going to go into classwork, and you're going to notice that instead of being at the top of the screen, it's at the bottom. This would be the same if you were on a phone as well. Phones are a little bit more difficult because the screen is clearly smaller. So we're going to go to classwork, and then you will always find the Meet link here. Okay, but I'm not going to open that up right now because we just don't need it. Then let's go back, and you can just click your back button on your tablet to get back to where you were at. And sometimes you might need to have the docs, especially if your child is second grade or older. We will be working in Google Docs, and that is this one. It's blue. Okay, and then you'll get to see all of my former docs, and we'll just get out of that because we don't need it. And you will need to have the Meet link down and downloaded so that you have a place to meet me, because even though you might have a Meet link, you still need to have the app. So we're going to get out of that. And you might need the Slides app. And this would just be in case we're working on a document that is shared. Okay, so that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you. It was something that I didn't get shared. If we end up using the Cami app, which is right here, you probably won't need to have the app. It'll probably just go ahead and open it up in it. And then you'll just have to sign in to your Google account or whatever email account is associated with your work with me. Okay, and we're right here, it says login. So there we go. That's it. That's all I really needed to share with you today. If there's any other things that you need to download, I will let you know in person. Thanks.